Hey, my, here we are chatting about the 2-5 actual quiz. You're watching this hopefully in preparation of doing a retake on the 2-5 quiz. So we'll talk about some of the problems here, some of the topics that come up should sound familiar, whether we've done it in the 2-5 preview or the 2-5 practice. Either way, I think it's going to be a good time, and I hope you're having a great day. I think it's wise of you to take notes as we talk through this and use that intel to move forward and be better with everything that's coming down the way, whether it's a retake on a quiz or just something that you needed from this to be successful in the future. So finding the slope of the line through the pair of points, reduce fractions. I'm going to show two ways on how to do this. First way is going to be using our equation or slope formula, which is, recall, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's a way we can get the slope. So I'll show that interpretation. I'm also going to show the table interpretation, which I think is easier, which should sound like something we did in the 2-5 preview. So first I'll do the equation. So I have 2 points. I'm going to label this x1, y1, x2, y2. Pretty much going to plug in wherever I see that term. So 15 was y2. I'm then deducting y1, which was 5. So notice it's only y coordinates up here. I'm then taking a look at x2, which is 6, and I'm deducting x1, which was 2. 15 minus 5 is 10. 6 minus 2 is 4. Can we reduce our fractions further? We sure can. We could say that this is 5 times 2 up here over 2 times 2 for the 4. 2's can cancel. Our final slope is 5/2. I can do the same thing over here using a table. First point's 2, 5. So I'm putting in 2 for n, 5 for f of n. And then I'm using 6, 15 for the other point. I'm measuring my distances in blue, or sorry, my changes in blue. So from 5 to 15, what would I have to add to make that happen? Hopefully you're saying plus 10, which I'm going to call my rise. And then what about from 2 to 6? What would you have to add? Hopefully you're saying 4. So this would be my run. And so recall, slope is also referred to as rise over run. So if I take 10, put it over 4, simplify this again to just 5/2. 5/2 is still my answer because, again, we have 2 ways we can solve it. So 5/2 is what you would need. So for problem 2, I'm just going to use the table. I hope that's all right with you because I think it knocks it out even quicker. So I'm making this table, putting in the point -5, 3, -2, -6. If I had to go from 5 to -2, if I think of this like a number line, -5's out here, 0's up here, -2's right here. So I would have to go up once, twice, 3 times. So I would have to add 3 to make that happen. To go from 3 to -6, I would have to deduct 9. So this would make my rise -9 over my run, which was 3. Simplify this to just -3. Call it a day. So answer here would be -3. Over here, it's 5/2. Pause the video if you're not sure how I did that. Let's keep it going. Graphing the line below, this is in slope-intercept form, where I know that my y-intercept is -3. So I'll just make a note of some points in here. So I have 0, -3. I'm going to use the slope to get some other points where if I add 2 in the x direction, I go up 5 in the y direction. So that would go to 2. Do the same thing for another point, 2 in the x direction, 5 in the y direction, getting 7. Plot those 2 out, move on with it. 1, 2, 3, plot that. And that's going to 2, 2. So over 2, up 5. keep going this way, over 2, up 5. Could do this all day, over 2, up 5. I'll even backtrack a little bit, over 2, and then go down 5. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. Draw that line between them, call it a day. Easy enough, right? Slope-intercept form's not that bad. This is now in point-slope form. So for one class, I might have written this situation out as y equals m x minus x1 plus y1. In this case, they're really just rewriting it so that y1's on the other side and it's the opposite, okay? So that's a big deal. Your slope is still negative 1/3, which I think is pretty easy to spot. Your x1 coordinate is going to be 4. So in here, I'm going to put that my x coordinate's 4. And then my y coordinate's the opposite over here. So it says -2, but it should really be +2. And then since we're just graphing, I could get other points, but I'm just going to settle on those. So this is 4, 2 over 4 in the x direction, up 2 in the y direction. For the slope, I'm going down, let's see. I'm rising -1, going over 3. So over 1, down 3. Then I could keep that going, over 3, up 1. If I'm backtracking, over 3, up 1, over 3, up 1. You got a plethora of points now that you can use, and you're done. And I know it's a negative slope because it's going down and to the right, so that makes sense. Sound good? And the reason I use this point slope form is because I don't know about you, but do you know what my y-intercept is going to be? Because I don't know. I don't really want to guess. I want to get this right on the first go. All right. So that's that. In point slope form, we're given our point, we're given our slope. I'm going to use y equals 4 parentheses x minus 5 minus 2. Submit it, call it a day. This is based off of the previous problems, so make sure that you have that point slope form written out. Point slope form for this, I have 2 points, but I'm missing my slope. So I need to first things first, get my slope. Second thing, make that equation. All right, so I have the points 4, 7, 8, -1. I'm going to use the table to make this happen. Jumping from 4 to 8, I would have to add 4. Going from 7 to -1, I would have to deduct 8. So our slope is going to be -8 over 4, which is -2. So I've got my slope, which is -2. So that's the first part done. Make the equation. You have 2 options. You could have y equals -2, x minus 4 plus 7, or y equals -2 parentheses x minus 8 minus 1. So this is referencing the 0.47. This is referencing the 0.8 -1. So 2 versions of the same equation. Both would work just fine. With the table, getting rate of change, this one's simple. If you followed along with how I did the problems before, the jump from 90 to 92 is adding 2 over the span of 0 to 7 years, which is +7, using our rise over our run, or let's call this x, call this y. You could also call this change in y over change in x. So 2 over 7. Round your answer to the nearest 1/10 of an inch. 2 over 7 is how much? Let's see. Use my calculator for this. 2 divided by 7 gets us 0.2857. But since we're rounding to the nearest tenth, I'm going to call it 0.3. So this is approximately 0.3. That's your slope, your rate of change. There you go. So every year they're increasing about 0.3 of an inch. Hope that helps. Making the equation here, I'm going to talk about this in words first. The temperature outside is 75 degrees at the start of the game. So starting at 75 degrees, temperature increases 15% every hour. So we are working with a percentage here. So I'm assuming we want to multiply with the previous amount. So multiplying with 1.15. Sorry, let me clean this up. Starting at 75 degrees, we multiply with 1.15 x times. So this is going to be exponential, which means that our equation should definitely model what's written in words. So starting at 75, multiply 1.15, take it to the x power, call it a day. This is my sentence. This is my equation. There you go. Over here, we're dealing with the Sixers. We're starting at 43 points. I'm going to kind of speed run this. So this sentence would be starting at 43 points. We add 6 points every minute. Okay, so the equation is going to be similar. Start at 43, add 6 for every minute. And this is all equal to g of x. And this would be equal to f of x. Sorry, I'm just noticing that I mentioned to put it in the f of x form. So there you go. This starts at 1 and moves forward. So it's not whole numbers, because remember, whole numbers, this includes 0, 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Natural numbers includes 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. All real numbers includes from negative infinity to positive infinity. So natural numbers is what you need, because you're starting with 1, and then we can assume it's going to keep going. Does this help? Is that okay? I'm not going to talk about the extra credit because that one's for you to figure out on your own. If you have any questions, reach out. Thanks for watching.